Hey guys, how's it going? Matt from Foulball Productions here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you're doing well. I'm doing phenomenally. Thank you so very much. I mean, I could be doing better. I definitely did just wake up very recently because I'm an irresponsible adult who cannot have any kind of form of self-discipline and wake up when he's supposed to do the show. But I am here. We made it. And so did Vigilante.
Yeah, looks like we made it. Vigilante was here on. You know what? I didn't even check the number. We're like 44, right? 44. Wow. Vigilante was here on the 44th episode. The Culture Crime Fighters. And
Bing.
Yeah.
Bing,
I'm here
bing.
too.
We're approaching
Somehow
a year,
I made
my
it.
friend.
Yeah, it is. It's got
Yes,
it because it was.
it is.
Did we start January or February last year?
Well, yeah, I'm just counting up to 52, but yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
because that doesn't work exactly. Because didn't we skip a few numbers?
Yeah,
Or
no,
weeks. Yeah, there's
yeah.
been weeks. So yeah,
It's
and hell,
certainly
Canadian
not a
Spider-Man.
perfect.
That's a rare. It's been a while since I used to see Canadian Spider-Man in the Doomcock chats all the time. I used to always joke, does he have the finest in Canadian Mary Jane, because they have specific laws in Canada, and so it was just
I get
it
it.
was a pun.
Weed.
Yeah, it's a weed pun. It's a weed pun. Spider-Man's a fan of Mary Jane. There you go.
Well, hail. Hail to you, Canadian Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Hail as well to Brightest Day, Mark DiCarlo, Sentient, Dilly Doe, and Zach's mocking me for the intersectionality. I was listening back on that cocktail lounge conversation, Zach's, and I still think I'm right.
Intersectional.
Alright.
We get a lot of shit for intersectional.
Oh my
And
god,
then-
who fucking cares? Stop playing their games and making it
Motherfucker-
matter. Stop
Yo,
making their words matter. They don't matter. It's all mumbo jumbo.
We'll be slightly off on the definition of intersectional. And you motherfuckers yell at us, read us like leftists.
Swear to God, like we're in a goddamn sociology class. Oh, do I get marked down on my paper for not getting the terms right? It's all
See, we're gonna go back to
bullshit.
just saying woke. You don't want to just say woke, because it almost just becomes a thing. Well, intersectional. Oh, it's not intersectional. Okay.
Not technically actual. The
Cool.
intersectionalism was birthed out of. Shut up! I don't care. It's all communism.
Cultural Marxism. Does that encompass everything? Is that good enough? You people.
You people.
No, you bigots. Talking about lateness
Yeah.
is
Well, you
is
know what?
whiteness.
We're
I
not
thought it was the
common.
opposite.
We're not commies here. We're actually capitalists. And to prove it, me and Vigilante launched a Patreon.
Yes.
That's right. And we're making moves. We're creating an empire. And we released another
Yeah.
episode just today. It just came out 17 minutes ago.
Yeah.
New Patreon episode, Culture Crime Fighters, Secret Identities. Take a look. This week we're talking drugs.
It's a really good episode.
I
It's a-
agree.
And I'm not just saying that because I was on the show. Like, it actually is really good. It's like really insightful. Some funny stuff. Some maybe less than funny stuff, but still cool to talk about. And
Yeah, we kind of talk about our relationship with drugs over the years, some kind of fun experiences. I talk about waking up in a strange girl's bed when I didn't go to sleep there. Fun stuff. Fun
Yeah.
stuff. So check it out. Watch the Culture Crime Fighters, Secret Identities. There's that episode and the other episode that's up, Virgins. I think they're good. I think they're fun. I would listen to them if I wasn't us.
yeah, I would too. So please check it
Yes.
out. Really appreciate it. And we appreciate you checking this out, even if you are teaching us intersectionality and all that other good stuff.
Mm-hmm. And teasing
Yeah.
me about it. I can't even tell if they're winding me up now or if they mean it. It's hard to
Yeah.
just decipher.
Well, since you did, though, I just always assume he's winding me up.
Oh, I don't take him seriously. That's crazy.
Crazy talk.
That'd be nuts. What are
Yeah.
you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you know The Matrix is out today?
Yeah. I remember liking that very first trailer the very first time I saw it.
Me too. I did too.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't sound good.
No, they compared it to The Last Jedi in like a positive light, which is like, man, that's crazy to think. that there are still people, still to this day, that like view The Last Jedi as something positive and are like willing to say that in public.
I was listening to that show Taste Buds
Mm-hmm.
with Sal Volcano and Joe DeRosa, and it's where they like debate two different topics. Like he'll pick pizza and versus pasta or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
And they did one that wasn't food. They did it was Han Solo versus Luke Skywalker, which was a pretty funny, like interesting, like who's better, who would you take,
Yeah.
which I thought was pretty funny. But fucking DeRosa, he kept talking about the timeline of Star Wars and kept including the sequels, and I'm like, if you keep fucking including the sequels, DeRosa, I'm going to firebomb your house. What the fuck is wrong with you? Those didn't happen. They don't count. They're not real movies. Like, stop acting as a Star Wars fan like we should ever acknowledge their existence ever again, except to trash it.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes me uncomfortable.
I will say, without having heard the episode, I will say in his defense, there are a lot of people who have now been like impacted by those movies. Like they can never unsee Han Solo getting killed by his son or Luke drink.
That's fine. I have no problem with that.
And that'll forever like scar their opinions. It's like watching. I'm trying to think of an example. It's like Brett Favre slinging picks will always be a part of his legacy, no matter what he did before then. You'll always remember those couple years. He was just
but he's not. But the thing is, like, he's not acknowledging it like the way Gary acknowledges, where it's just like it's forever tarnished my experience with it. Like he talks about it like he talks about the storyline, as if when you're comparing Luke to Han, you should include any part of those sequels in the conversation. And I'm like, what the hell is this? No, that didn't even happen. Don't even talk like that.
Yeah. Some people, there's still people, there's the normie class that are like, oh man, these movies happen. I've heard fucking, what's the dude? I'm not as big of a fan of him this year as I was last year. What's the guy? Clay Travis. He talks about his sons liking the recent Star Wars movies. Just like, oh God,
I hope that they're toddlers. Like I hope that they're I
think they're like youngish. Cognizant. They are fairly young, but they seem a bit too old to still like these movies. I blame parenting, obviously.
Agreed.
There's no other way. I know you're taking care of your kids and all that stuff, and then you have them in, great lap of luxury. But, letting them watch these movies earnestly may be the most massive failure as a parent you can possibly be. Clearly.
I think it borders on child abuse, and I mean that with no hyperbole.
Exactly.
It's So anyway, so the Matrix is out today, and people comparing it to saying it's the Last Jedi, like you said, of the Matrix as a positive thing. And I think this one fan review sums it up pretty well. I just found this while I was like doing a little preliminary research, and this is from this is on Google. And it's from Daniel Massey, 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 and he gives it 2 out of 5 stars.
Oh.
And his review, it's titled, "If you're going to enrage fascists and incels, please do it well." So his problem is not that the movie is pure propaganda, one-sided propaganda directed at making a political point, purely for the left, and then also calling anyone who disagrees with that fascists and incels. That's not his issue. His issue is the quality of that propaganda. So that doesn't
make it better. It's like, okay, you didn't even make your fan base happy. Like even they say, man, this is shitty. Like we're all Marxists here, but we're not, stupid. Like you can't. This is still too bad for us.
Yeah, I think it's pathetic. Both people involved in that, I think, are pathetic. The person who wants to make propaganda is pathetic, and then the person who's like, this propaganda isn't good enough.
We'll never convert more hammer and sickles with this.
Yeah, exactly. How are we going to grow the state if this is how we go about it?
How do
Really
we
gross.
encourage activism with terrible propaganda? What's wrong with you people?
Yeah. So it says whilst he literally wrote whilst.
Because
What
he went to a college. He's smarter than you.
Definitely went to a college for sure, and wants to remind everyone. Whilst it's nice to see a message of gender equality and positive LGBT experiences, which I was like, oh. And this is from the horse's mouth. Like, this is from someone who truly wants like that in his movies. So, like, this is the truth of what's in the movie. Like, this is the unfiltered.
Fun.
No, it doesn't.
Because you know what, Matrix is another franchise that was already there when we got here, man.
Agreed.
Like those other two. There's only one Matrix movie. The other two
Agreed.
things are just fever dreams that we all kind of just share.
Fever dreams.
Especially both of them. I gave the second one more of a pass at the time. But I mean, there's still no forgiveness for like the rave scene and just some of the story.
The dog shit special effects.
Oof, yeah, they did not age as well. They don't age as well as the first one. The first one,
good at the time.
Yeah, with the overly 3D look and all those fucking PlayStation 2 Agent Smiths.
And the whole, and then like fighting like 40 of them all at once. It was so corny.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But I mean, that scene just doesn't hold up. So many scenes visually just look like 2002, and it's just
corny. Like, and there's was that the one with the key maker?
Yeah, the second one was the key maker.
Just worthless babbling dialogue, goes nowhere.
Colonel Sanders, I know it's not his name, it's the architect, but when Neo goes into that room
he
and
does
Colonel
look
Sanders
like Colonel Sanders.
When Colonel Sanders starts babbling, it's just like the whole. I was willing to forgive a lot, but when we got there, the whole series falls apart. The whole thing, everything falls apart completely. And the Matrix wasn't realistic. Fuck being realistic. Just don't be terrible. Don't.
Why are you acknowledging him? Don't acknowledge him.
Don't acknowledge Cinch and Dildo.
You encourage him when you do that.
Yeah, I do.
He doesn't need that.
Yeah.
No, it's not like you just like that was a poignant moment. You're like, good point. Yeah,
I'm learning. Do that. I'm learning.
Oh,
part of that as I started to look at Elvis.
Oh my goodness gracious!
As you have technical difficulties, since I have the power, Elvis says Spider-Man is proof that everyone likes straight white men, even gay men love them but hate them, and because they can't have them. Oh boy, Elvis said that, not me. Send your hate mail here. Where
did that come from?
The Matrix Resurrections is a disaster. Since you did like he needs encouragement, that's fair. That is fair.
No, exactly.
But yeah,
if you encourage him, he's just gonna get worse. So hold on. So it's funny. We only made it like 3 lines into this guy's review.
Okay, yeah, let's get through it.
We're already just like going off. He says, what isn't nice is when it's clumsily shoehorned into an otherwise very establishment man. What? Oh, is he using that as an adjective? An establishment man? Like, that's the kind of man he is? He's an establishment man? Oh,
I don't know.
That made me sick. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel ill. What isn't nice is when it clumsily when it is clumsily shoehorned into an otherwise very establishment man saves female love interest in distress storyline. Oh, use some hyphens, you jizz bucket. God damn it! If you went to college, you don't know grammar.
Yeah,
that should all be one hyphenated concept. Oh, what an ass!
Is the Matrix a woman saves man story? Like, especially the very first one, they kind of all save each other throughout that movie. The first one until Neo
she straight up saves Neo's life.
Yeah, multiple times until Neo comes alive.
But she does Neo. It. Her true love is what brings him back.
Yeah. Ugh. So like, what the fuck? Like, fucking, you're telling me fucking Trinity wasn't feminist enough for you? Fuck, man. She was like that. Like her whole
she was hot.
image. She was hot.
Men sexualize her.
Oh God.
Bad. Bad.
She like her whole thing was this tough ass chick. She was pretty hard on Neo, if you guys remember the original, the only movie, until she softens up. So it's not like this. That's not a typical like fucking Lois Lane Superman story at all.
No,
Second
she's
one,
a
I guess,
great
kind of
female action character.
Yeah, man.
Trinity was cool. She's
Trinity
the first
was
one.
cool.
She kicks a lot of ass, and it starts off like, she's the one who's the first one you see in action. Like she's the first one whooping ass, taking names, and she never like takes a back seat or a soft like position. She's cool the whole movie.
And like that first scene, as if you guys remember from back in the days, as fucking oh shit, we get Russian propaganda. Yes, communist bots are here.
What are we talking?
And it's in the chat.
Oh wow, straight up.
Comrades showed up. I'm not sure if you guys got it from the YouTube chat. Shout out it to any mod if someone grabbed it. But that scene, that very first scene when she does the little move and it goes around the room, I know it got overdone a billion times, but that was like the iconic scene of that movie. That was like the scene. And when people thought of The Matrix, they thought of that scene of her kicking everyone's ass and that little wraparound shot, because that was like the shot of the movie that everyone knew and everyone kind of like used. So she was like one of the iconic. It's Trinity, Morpheus, and Neo are the iconic characters of the thing. It's a black guy, white girl, white man.
But
why
is that's not good enough, because that's
and they train the white man because he's not good enough at the first time.
But it's not propaganda. Like that's all they care about. Like I swear to God, because I've had debates like this with people in LA where it's like you walk through. It doesn't matter. You don't win brownie points unless it's exactly down the state line. There is no concessions on their part. It's a cultural overhaul, and until it's exactly down their talking points, tailored the way they think of the world, it doesn't. These things don't matter. That was still patriarchy. That was still oppression. Right, dog
whistle, the whole thing.
If you're not, it's like you gotta be down. It's like the sermon needs to be biblical. Otherwise, it's heresy.
I'm thinking about the first Matrix. You would, if you just go off of their propaganda. This is my thought. Like this, the crew, Nebuchadnezzar crew, the only version of Nebuchadnezzar crew again, because it's only one movie. Multiracial. The white guy is the evil guy. Fucking Cypher. He's the one. Spoilers for the first Matrix if you haven't.
Fuck you. If you haven't seen the first Matrix, get out of this chat.
No, stay, please. We need you. Love us, please. No, but like you would have thought, like, hey, you guys are already getting what you want 20 plus years before everything. You're getting this is damn near propaganda by just telling a story that it wants to tell. You can link it to all your propaganda and say, yeah, we won all the time because you had already won this battle. This was not Superman. This was not like some straight white only thing. You won this battle. You won it. It's over.
You're still operating on the perception that they really give a shit about anything else, like that they really care about it, because they don't care about that. They care about the Great Reset. They care about like the switch, taking it all back, build back better. That's what this all is. Like it's not. They're not going to be like, oh, okay, good point, because they already know they're right. They already know what the propaganda looks like, and it all needs to be that now.
So like you're not wrong. I'm trying to like I don't want to just like dehumanize the general leftists to mean they're all hive mind commies. Like they can't all be that way, right? Right? But like it's just like
it was pretty universal in my experience.
What do you people want? The Matrix already solved a lot of the problems.
We just want a little bit more representation. That's all we want. They always act like it's so reasonable what they're saying. It always comes across like no. It's just a little more inclusive, and by inclusive we mean we're going to destroy masculinity. We're going to devastate it in all of its representation.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's not what we're doing. There can never be a sympathetic white man again. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, and if
It's
there
like,
ever
okay.
was one, we must like destroy him.
Yeah. It's like they always think that they're just no, we're just doing this. It's like we're just getting a little bit more gender neutral. It's like really? I don't notice you getting rid of femininity at all. I don't see in
Yeah.
this neutrality you're getting rid of femininity. No, there is no neutral. You're destroying masculinity. Cut the shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and I'm even thinking, I can't remember the other girl, the blonde girl from the first Matrix. I forgot her name.
The other girl what?
But I'm just like they had a, what is it called? Like default bisexual vibe going about them. Even her and Trinity had the shorter haircut. It just seems like I know I'm operating from a false
Oh,
premise.
Cypher.
No, Cypher was the guy.
Not
The
Cypher.
Switch?
Switch.
Who was Switch? Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
Switch and
She was the
APAC, but I can't
Russian.
remember what.
She was like
yeah,
Russian.
yeah, she had that Russian look.
Not
So
like
it's
this. Not like this.
yeah. You got everything you want out of the first Matrix if you really look for it. You don't have to look that hard. And so, golly, I this looks like the you know what it actually looks like? They caught Last Jedi. It looked like it might be Terminator Dark Fate, where it's just like a complete deconstruction and intentional fuck you to everything that came before.
Well, there is a Bounding article. Would you like to read it? Because this guy,
Yeah.
Or we can finish this guy's review.
Oh shit, Jesus. Yeah, let's finish this guy's review up first.
If we want. I mean, it's just a Google user.
The prestigious Google user.
Oh, God, this guy uses all the words. I hate him so much. He says, the poor multimillionaire game designer / CEO, parentheses, who is also presenting as straight, white, and naturally handsome all-American boy.
Wait,
like,
presenting as natural handsome?
No,
Can I present as naturally handsome even though I look like a fucking
Well, presenting means how you appear to the world.
But that's not really what presenting traditionally means. You
No,
present
traditional.
yourself.
What are you, a white supremacist? Traditional.
No, I just have logic.
That is a dog whistle for the alt-right, you fascist.
Oh fuck! I'm just. Do definitions matter?
To them, yeah, no, but they do this all the time. They change the meanings of words.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a fundamental part of what they're doing. And when they say like the presenting thing is, once again, I think it's mostly about trans people, and it's about like how you appear to the world. So they say like male presenting or female presenting. You know what I mean? Because like gender identity is a construct. It's not real. It's however you feel, whatever you want.
Of course, obviously.
So when he says it's how it comes across, he's presenting as straight white man. You know what I mean? Like that's his what's archetype, you know?
I guess, but I mean, like they would consider it's ma'am as presenting as female, and I mean, I'm not here to tell you how to think any more than you're here to tell me how to think. I just would disagree with that opinion. Please, don't kill us leftists. Don't burn our house down.
Fuck them. I don't pander.
Hashtag BLM. Burn large mansions. Buy large mansions.
Okay, so who is presenting straight white is fighting the system, not for the millions of people literally oppressed by the system, not for the people who are in simulated slums and doing backbreaking work in simulated sweatshops or being beaten by simulated neo-Nazis. Boy, this guy really thinks highly of his own opinion. Or facing simulated imprisonment, torture, or execution for breaking simulated religious purity laws. No, he's doing it for the love of
So is murder a religious purity law because it's in the Ten Commandments? Is that what this guy's going with?
I don't know. But he says, no, he's doing it for the love of a very beautiful woman. And that's his sin in this movie.
I don't know if this review can tell us anything. This sounds like it wasn't It's never enough. This is almost seems like, it's not. It wasn't intersectional enough. Still about straight white men, straight white menning.
Yeah, that's why I think it's funny. Like, I think like a movie designed to pander to these people still is like, there's still people like,
actually, I have my checklist here of things that are supposed to be in my propaganda, and it doesn't fit that list. He's presenting straight white male, and he did this for a woman. That doesn't compute.
So, like, was
what's up
Neil
with the
supposed
bots in the chat? Fucking beat it, bots.
Russia. Mother Russia is for Mother Russia. The comrades are out.
Can you guys
comrades
take
are
care of that?
Oh my God, you guys in the chat are almost as bad as the boss. Talking about you're cosplaying as a Sikh, and you have the turban thing going on because of the beanie. No, we're encroaching on Tim Pool's territory. I'm coming for you. Never mind.
Are you doing that?
Booker T, Hulk
Yeah,
Hogan
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Well, we can read the bounding article.
Yeah, because this guy's just like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we're not here to peg you in front of your wife to make you feel better about yourself. Like, please.
I really find it funny, like it when the left eats itself. That really gives me like pleasure. Like,
Yeah.
there was this Rogan thing that he highlighted, and it was some college, and there was some student body election, and there was a girl who became a guy, who became a straight white guy or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's a trans woman, and she wanted to be the president of like the student body or something. And so when she was running, like there were people who were deeply opposed to it because they didn't want another straight white male in a position of power.
You get what you deserve. That's great. Yeah. Elliot Page. Straight white man. I'm sick of you motherfuckers.
It's so funny. You're like, you guys, it's all make believe. Like, you guys are playing house. Like,
well, you picked the wrong character.
Oh, clown world indeed.
Yeah.
Clown world. It's like, it would never even occur to a normal person to be like, to make that conclusion. You'd be like, oh yeah, a trans woman, that like makes perfect sense. It's like, no, because she's always been a straight white male inside. So then it's straight white male patriarchy. You're just like, oh my God. Okay.
It did occur to me at some point, like since I've been doing this, I'm like, wait a second. I think when the Elliot Page thing happened, like, wait a second. Now she's a straight white male. Like, what happens there? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think she still managed to, like, I think she thought about that. And also she's a they them, so she's gender fluid as well. She's not purely a straight white male. Like she was onto that.
There you go. Well, next time, Mr., you'll get your fucking pronouns right from jump. You straight white patriarchal male who's trying to, gain more patriarchal white power.
I'll tell you what, Elliot Page went all in. Like tits are gone, and like she's got like a physique. I think she's taking hormones or something like that. Because like, she kind of does look like a dude.
Yeah. What's this she business, mister? You fascist alt-right bigot?
I know.
Him, his, they, their.
Yeah, I mean, she kind of looks like a skinny dude.
Yeah.
It's still weird, but it's like, okay. Yeah, kind of.
Are you bringing it up? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we don't have to. No one cares. Yeah, if you really have that big of an interest in looking at Elliot Page's physique, the Google machine works.
It's just weird how, like, you can't, there's no angle for us to be like, aren't you appropriating masculinity?
Yeah. Because it's always this weird, like, fictional version of masculinity that I would have never considered. And there's like, this is how masculinity is, right, guys? Like sure. Whatever.
Well,
man.
It's like, you didn't have to get socialized like a man, which is really tough. Like being an adolescent boy is a very like unpleasant time to be a boy. Like it gets kind of violent. It gets like the pecking order gets really intense. Like the locker rooms are an unpleasant place to be. Like you really have to fight for your place in the hierarchy. And if you didn't go through that and now you want to call yourself a man, I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like if you want to come play with the fucking boys, that's fine. But play with the fucking boys.
Yeah. Fallon Fox. That's kind of opposite.
Fallon Fox, what is that?
That's the MMA, trans MMA fighter. who's a trans
Oh.
woman fighting with the women. But no, like that's I didn't even think about that angle. You're right. I mean, shit. There's a lot. I've even covered some of the stuff, just kind of like social dynamics, and I did the one little gender episode, or not gender episode. What was it about relationships and shit? And like, life is different for men in their youth. Like that's like the hardest period for men, and then they age into it. Ideally, I mean, we haven't, but they age into like life running smoother as they go along. Where with women, like their first. I mean, there's obviously exceptions to this rule. I'm not just trying to generalize, like, because everybody's life has,
All right, enough
peaks and
caveats.
valleys.
Make your point.
But yeah, women, typically speaking, especially in the Western world, their youth up until they get into their mid-30s is pretty easy. It's pretty mapped out, especially now that you
I
have
just
all
think
these.
it's different. I don't think it's easy. I wouldn't want to have been a girl. Like, girls are really mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
they are.
They can
They
be
do eat a
vicious
lot
to one
each
another, and
other.
like, if you're not a cool girl, like high school is pretty brutal. So I'm not saying women have it easier. Like, I'd say they have it different. Like, it's just different. Like, you just were not a boy just as much as I'm not a girl. Like, I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, it's not right of me to be like, oh yeah, we have the exact same experiences. We don't. Like, our lives are very different. Like, our experiences are different. Our relationship to the world is different. That's what's frustrating, though, is like they want to come in and just take all these things, and it's like you didn't fucking earn it. Like, you have, like, there's different rules with guys and girls. There just is. And it's like you guys are pretending that shit doesn't exist. It's like, that's fucking bullshit, because I had to go through it.
Yeah. Talking about recruit difficulty. Recruit difficulty.
The fuck
No,
is that?
I don't even know what he means by recruit. Like I'm trying to recruit people in the big time. I guess. No, I'm not. I'm not saying that.
Suspicious you know so much about that, Sunshine.
Yeah. No, I'm not even trying to. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to recruit people into anything.
What the fuck does
Please,
that mean? Recruit difficulty.
please don't follow me into anything. No, just typically the world it has a different view on a younger woman than it does a younger man. There tends to be higher expectations for for that younger man up until a point.
I guess this is a MGTOW topic. It says, I just pulled up a Reddit. It says, someone told me that girls, quote, live life on recruit difficulty. That's
I see.
a Call of Duty thing.
No, I get it. I didn't even.
Huh.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily.
Look, there are a lot of things that women have so much easier that somehow they just can't acknowledge.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me. It's just like, you're like, yeah, but like dating's never gonna, like, you're never gonna want for sex. Do you understand how powerful that is? Not ever, because eventually you're going to. But
yeah, well,
for now, you don't ever have to want for that. Do you have you understand psychologically what an advantage that is?
no, you don't.
How powerful of an experience, like a place to be in that is.
Yeah. Well, like you said, they don't, but you will.
It's like it's the number one thing that drives men crazy is access to sex, and you do not have that issue. You don't even conceive. You can't conceive of it.
It's been
and
like
you lecturing
2 months.
me about my privilege. It's like you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah.
Your biggest problem is just picking the mate. Oh, which one is perfect enough?
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah. So now I'm accidentally converting people into MGTOW.
I just like, because it's like, I see it in the workplace a lot. You know what I mean? Like working alongside with women, and like women getting like advantages and getting lighter workloads and being treated better and not having to play by the same rules, but still thinking that they've got it worse. And you're like, you're fucking crazy.
I have seen some of that in my day as well. Not necessarily at this job, but I had a job in particular where there was actually one girl, and it's like, man, you're living on like recruit difficulty now that I understand what you mean. You are living on like super easy, kids difficulty mode, and it's like, this is not fair.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
And look, I'm fine with the fact that it's not fair. I just want it to be acknowledged.
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect it to be fair. Yeah, not overlooked. And also not like, then I also have to take shit like I got it better when I fucking don't.
Yeah. So
That's
yeah,
the thing. That's really where that's where I stick in, and it
mhm.
gets, like, that's where you get the biggest pushback. But it's like, this is the real world. This is the world we live in, people. I
Yeah,
don't like. And the thing is, it's like, it's not fair to say it universally, because there are badass women. There are women who pull their
absolutely.
weight equally and give 100%
Yeah,
and play fair. I'm not saying it's universal. I'm just saying the institutions, like the way it exists, is that you don't have to,
yeah,
and that's fine.
yeah. I've recently used the example of the selective service, right? The selective service said we're not gonna, excuse me, force women to sign up. So, like, if we societally are saying that we're just not gonna force women. Who knows how that's gonna work with the whole trans thing? Are they gonna force trans women to sign up?
Good
Ooh.
point.
But if we've made the decision not to do this, what are we saying societally? Even though we could field one, there's tons of roles that aren't combat roles in the military that are still very vital.
Hmm.
And two, you could theoretically field probably a better group of combat ready women now than you could have ever throughout history, just because of how much more women are active in combat arts and things like that, as opposed to 50, 100 years ago. But even with all that, you're still saying nope, we're not going to make women sign up. So why are we doing that? Because we are societally saying there's a difference between what a man and a woman can physically be expected to do. That's why we're doing it, and there's no
It's
shame and nothing
partially
wrong with
that.
that.
It's it's partially that. It's also just that women are more important.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
for
especially
the
to the health.
continuance of
Yeah, for the health of the society. It's like, if there was a devastating, war or something like that, and we had to rebuild society. Well, you can, one man, or a handful of men can impregnate a lot of different women to bring back the population, but one woman can only birth one baby at a time. So it's like, you need more of them, and they need
yeah.
to be safe and protected so that they can continue to raise babies. This isn't fucking madness. It's like the idea that, like, this is some sort of oppression, conspiracy, is fucking insane.
Yeah. I mean, shit, that's what you're talking about is just basic anthropological, like societal logic that goes throughout culture. Like, no matter what culture, it's like, okay, we must protect the women so we can live on, because otherwise we don't. Because if it's just a sausage fest, we can't produce a child.
Well, and it's funny. Like, I was watching the Witcher.
Sorry,
I'm
just Josh. We're not trying to depress you. Apocalypse.
sorry, but I was watching The Witcher. I was on episode 3 of The Witcher,
Uh-oh.
and it's like, yeah, it's sneaking in. But I was watching it, and, like, I'm just looking at all these girls, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like they're just kind of silly. It's like they're these delicate girls. They have, like, these soft breasts. It's like, you're not men. Like, you're not built for combat. That's not why you're here. Like, why do you want all these male roles? Like, I just don't understand it. Like, it's not why you're here. It's so
Yeah.
weird. I'm like, it just made me laugh. It's just how silly it is to think of them as like, oh yeah, we could fight like the boys. No, you fucking can't. Stop trying. Like, just take the privilege. Holy shit, we're trying to give it to you, and you're fighting us on it.
Yeah. So real quick, I don't know if you're roboting or if I'm roboting, because sometimes when I hear roboting, it's because it's on my end. So do you hear me robot now?
No, I don't hear you.
Chat, did you hear him robot, or was that just me? Because I could hear you and understand what you were talking about The Witcher, but no one else is commenting. I don't know if that was just me on my end, or if because sometimes it just freaks out. But
Yeah, if anyone, if we get some feedback in the chat, we'd appreciate
please
it.
let us know.
Just
Maybe
use
it's
this
just me.
brightest day.
Just me.
Just-
Okay.
Yeah.
So am I roboting? You said no.
Did
As long
not
as
hear
I'm
it,
not
just you. I don't hear it.
Okay. Okay. Cool. 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 As long as it's not coming in on you guys, then I'm cool with it.
Nope.
So but yeah, they don't want it because they can't acknowledge gender has to be a societal construct. There cannot be any physiological basis to it, even though there obviously is.
Everything is. There's no
Yeah.
there's no such thing as inherent roles or biology or any of that. Like, it's all made up. Like, they look at it as everything can be, restarted from the individual, and if there's any problems, it's because prior to this, society was oppressive. I mean, that's their entire worldview.
Man. But like society isn't even I mean, I know the globalists are trying to get it that way, but society isn't even one thing, right? Because there's really we're one country in a planet, and in that country there are multiple states, cities, which all have their own subsets, subcultures, this, that, there. So society is really a amalgam of a bunch of mini cultures globbed together inherently, right? So like you can't just say that something is the way it is because society has chosen, as if there's just one guy hitting the, writing down the sentence and like society shall do this and that's the way it is going forward, and that's how it's always been. Like, no, these things happen because of a tendency. Yes, the environment does set up how people move and how people become, but like there's a tendency, especially when you come to gender. I've heard this said, I actually think it was a one like the female men's rights girls who said something like
Oh,
this.
one
Like,
of the honey badgers.
yeah, maybe, yeah. But what she said is there's never been a society of women peacefully existing and men attacked the culture and overtook them. No matter what culture we've all ever talked about, it has been men and women together. You know what I mean? As that culture, it's never been just like some island, like some Themyscira that existed, and these straight white men invaded these only female, this only female society and overthrew them and took them over. That's not how it happened. And that's almost the impression you get from these feminists. We haven't really even talked about this damn Matrix thing. We just been going on.
You're just going off, yeah, about feminists.
Yeah.
I know.
Fucking feminists.
Yeah. Well, it does get in your head because it's like, it's been, I think the whole feminist thing is like, it's been a part of the lexicon and like the way, our society since we were young, since me and you were young. So it does, I think we did believe it to a degree. And then it's like when you get older and see the world isn't like that, it's a very frustrating reality to cope with.
Yeah. And I'm glad
you know what it's like? It's like getting red pilled.
There you go.
Bring it all
back
around.
in.
And that's exactly what this article is about.
Yeah.
From Bounding. And actually, it is a relevant one because there is that Reddit thread called The Red Pill, and there is that documentary called The Red Pill, and it's all inspired from The Matrix. And so The Matrix Resurrections writers reveal film seeks to reclaim the red pill after it was kidnapped by the right wing. There's a lot of R's in that sentence.
Arby's. No. Arby's. They ain't pay us.
According to the Matrix Resurrections writer Alexander Heman and David Mitchell, one of their many politically motivated goals when approaching the script for Lana Wachowski's latest entry in the cyberpunk franchise was to reclaim the trope of the red pill after, in their opinion, it was, quote, kidnapped by the right wing.
Kidnapped by those damn fascist alt-right Yazzis.
And you know, it's funny, I hadn't even considered that angle, but that does make perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like why they would go back at this, because it's like it's a term like kind of synonymous with not putting up with liberal bullshit.
Yeah, but like, okay, so are you gonna make it? He should have took the blue pill. Is that what you're saying? At that point in the movie, if he takes the blue pill, it's better.
Well, they're just gonna redefine what the pill it means. It's like the red pilling can no longer, be associated with, Yahtzees.
Oh, I mean, listen, as silly as the whole pill thing, as we've talked about, was it white pill, black pill, red pill, blue pill? All of it is, Dr. Seuss. But like, the movie is still based on that concept, so I don't know how you can take it back and change it, because I think because they're upset that like red pilling is a legitimate term, meaning they have been the Matrix. Maybe that's the part they don't want to accept, that the liberal bullshit is the Matrix, and they can't believe that, and so therefore anything that goes against that is just they can't compute. It's like it does not compute.
It makes sense though, like from a motivation standpoint, why they would want to do something like this.
Yeah,
because it's like it doesn't obviously they don't do things for the fans,
Yeah.
And she tried to say that the whole thing was a trans allegory anyway. After the fact. She's just like J.K. Rowling, just asserting identity politics where it was like, that wasn't there. Shut up.
Yeah.
Like,
Thank you for calling her out because it pisses me off that now she's trying to ride the other wave. It's like, okay, bitch, you started this shit.
Yeah,
Kinda
you
lying
deserve
on
everything
bed.
you're getting. Like, I
Yes.
think she deserves it. Yeah.
Yeah, because like that was the very first time I heard of like massive gender and everything swap was J.K. Rowling. So like, fuck you. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
this yeah,
she did it, but then like I remember she's the biggest hypocrite too because she had like that appeal where they all wrote that
Mhm.
message, that like letter,
I
basically
remember that.
to the woke mob, don't cancel us because we're on the
Yeah,
good side.
yeah, and wasn't there still a line like you can still cancel all the right wing
Oh yeah.
fascists.
Oh, we would never think like that. Of course,
Yeah,
it's
just not
like
us.
yeah, it's like I defend free speech up until the point where I disagree with it, but I'm with you. Just what I think is correct, and like just please don't come after us, like, you cowards.
Yeah,
You
and Just Josh, yeah, it
cowards.
makes me want to save my money and not watch the movie either. Um, the idea that you would make this movie over a meme, or just in general, it's just like I don't want to. The first trailer looked interesting because it just looked like what happened with Neo, and there was just some interest. And it's funny, the scene where he's taking all those blue pills. I actually like popped for that. I'm like, oh man, that's dope. They've been drugging him this whole time. That's great.
It's clever too. Plus, it looked like all the colors looked all saturated, like it was the
Yeah,
end of the third one, and it was like a restarted Matrix. I was like, okay, that's like, I don't have any issues with this, but it doesn't. I don't know. Universally, it just seems that this movie's trash. So let's read this article.
yeah. Let's actually get to it.
Heeman, author of The Lazarus Project, and Mitchell, original book author of Cloud Atlas, revealed the political lens through which they wrote The Matrix Resurrections during an interview with the AV Club given in the promotion of the film's release. Opening that, quote, Resurrections is so much more specific in its aims and, quote, a very personal film that touches upon such real-world topics as, quote, Cambridge Analytica, precursors to the metaverse, and social media radicalization. Uh-oh.
What?
I don't know, but that
Oh
doesn't
boy.
sound good.
If anyone in the chat knows what Cambridge Analytica is, please enlighten us because that's new to me.
The AV Club staff reporter Matt Shimkowitz asked the pair of writers if said topics were things they were talking about while writing the film. To which Heeman replied, "We were aware because you bring it into the pit." I guess that's the Writers Collective. All that's happening in the world. So we talked about specific things. What a non-answer. Oh, you mean you had conversations in the writers' room?
Yeah, we talked.
Okay, so I could have actually concluded that myself, considering you are humans who speak.
You know what? They
But
could have did it all by text. Who knows? Because they are liberals, so they could have just did it all by retweets.
Things like the red pill, blue pill trope or meme, and how it was kidnapped by the right wing, he explains. The verb to red pill and so on. So one thing we were mindful of is how to reclaim that trope, to renew the meaning of red pill and blue pill. Yes. How dare people
How
honor?
dare you?
How dare people honor and be inspired to think freely using the things that were written before? Yeah, no, that's definitely oppression. No question about it.
Yeah. And Brightest Day actually smartened me up to Cambridge Analytica. Apparently, it's a British political consulting firm that came to prominence through the Facebook Cambridge Analytica data scandal. I didn't hear about this because I don't know anything about society. A huge dealer of personal data. Oh, okay, I think they work with governments, parties, Facebook, and etc. I see. So they're just the globalist, one of the globalist groupings of data. So they know everything about us and use it to manipulate society. Dope. Okay, thank you for the
Josh saying this article makes me want to take a pill or two.
pill,
I hear
a
ya.
drink.
I hear ya.
You know what? We could use this as a plug for our conversation about drugs because this is why people get inebriated, man. A
Yeah.
Molly, an Oxy, a fucking just like, yeah, this is just ridiculous, man.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I was thinking about it, like while I was watching The Witcher, and I remember I was talking about how people are just exhausted and can't you know, and have trouble like seeing the propaganda and the stuff. They just get exhausted with the fight. I found myself in the exact same boat. And I was just like, I just want to like things. I just want to enjoy this.
Yeah.
You know, like it's you know,
Fuck
I'm
it.
like, I find myself bobbing, like looking the other way through the wokey stuff. It's just because I'm like, oh, so tired. I just want to enjoy something, please.
Yeah.
So tired of being beaten into it. I mean, that's how it works because you just get beaten into it. Eventually, you're just like, all right, fine.
Beaten into submission.
Gender's a social construct. Yeah, I know. I have inherent privilege. Got it.
Yeah.
You just beaten into some compliance and submission. Just, Thank you, Canadian Spider-Man. Appreciate it. Right on to you.
Don't encourage him.
Right on to you.
Don't encourage him.
No, encourage me. I'm the host.
Yeah.
Okay, obviously we weren't involved, but the first Matrix was so present in the world while also being ahead of its time. So with this movie too, we were deeply embedded in the time, early 2019, but also we were thinking about the future, added the writer. I had to catch up with them on that. I mean, that picture right here, I think, is pretty indicative of what the movie's the tone.
And just as usual, put the black man in the back. Don't even hardly show him. We get it.
That's
I know
right.
I know where I stand with liberals. I never have to be confused about that.
Shimkowitz then noted that the scenes with the analyst Neil Patrick Harris were, that's why he said presenting straight white male. Because Neil Patrick Harris is not. But he presented. Oh, God.
Dun, dun, dun.
These people are exhausting.
Beating in and beating off.
Yeah.
Says Zax.
Were especially pointed as he's using some of the terminology of right-wing radicalization, like conservative retort, facts don't care about your feelings. Oh, no. So the guy who's keeping him in the Matrix is a right-wing blogger. Oh, my God. How pathetic.
Awesome.
That is
Great.
So pathetic. That's how you. And also, like, facts don't care about your feelings. Yeah, that's a meme from the right from like 6 years ago.
Bro.
Like, that's not even kind of up with the times at all.
Ben Shapiro, like, listen.
That'd be
man,
like me calling a liberal a tree hugger.
Yeah, man.
Like, so off. Not even
It's
close.
dated. It doesn't even make sense. Listen, man. I'm sorry you guys don't like Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro. I could not imagine having your panties ruffled by either man at all. Neither. The idea that either could be the symbol of like masculinity at all. These small men. That they
That's why I never liked
so
him
frightened.
in that. What was that movie that sitcom that he was in where he was the womanizer? I'm like,
How I Met Your Mother.
yeah, but he's gay. You know what I mean? Like, I know that sounds weird, but I think there's kind of partially.
I think I know where you're going.
It's partially that, like, when you see like a guy like Bond, right, who's like womanizing and kicking ass, part of you wants to think that like he's doing that off screen too.
Yeah.
So you're kind of living vicariously through that. So if a character is like a womanizer, you're kind of like, yeah, but he does probably crush pussy. And it's like, well, not Neil Patrick Harris.
Honestly, not even fucking the last Bond. Fucking Daniel Craig.
Yeah, or Daniel Craig. Right.
But yeah. And no, I wasn't necessarily criticizing Jordan Peterson as a intellectual, but just like this small Canadian man is like the toxic white male of toxic white men. Are you serious? You know what I mean? He just doesn't give off this, ubermensch Aryan guy that you guys are making him out to be. He just seems like, or Ben Shapiro, like these very small, nerdy dudes are just like, have these liberals. Oh, this is patriarchy at work, guys. It's like, what? Uh-oh.
It's funny how much identity matters to them, like how important that is, until you disagree with them. Then it doesn't matter. You can be black, you can be a woman, you can be Jewish. It doesn't matter. If you disagree, you are a alt-right white supremacist. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? Like, they're obsessed with their identity and their identity politics. The most important thing, until you disagree with them, then your identity is completely insignificant.
Yeah, and in fact, I mean, they have a tendency to be like angry at you because you're supposed to have their thought process. Really, it's not the reason identity is so important to them, in my opinion. Um, a lot of times it's because identity is the means that which you can kind of capture the imagination of the most people or brainwash the most people. So it's like I can brainwash people along the lines of gender, along the lines of race or whatever. But if somebody doesn't go along with the brainwashing, then they must be one of these uppity Negroes. So I have to put them back in line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
So that's really where it comes from. It's not even like because it's not coming from a genuine place in a lot of places, a lot of cases.
It's really disgusting, actually, because it's like the thing that they're obsessed with the most. But then you as an individual, you don't matter now. Like your
Yeah.
identity as a person no longer carries any weight, means nothing because you don't go along with like our ideas. It's pretty gross.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Conservative retort, facts don't care about your feelings. I love how that's a conservative retort. It's like, no, that's just the truth.
Yeah.
Like that's the truth. Like facts are kind of, yeah. And they would say that, they would use that exact same logic when talking about like, the coof. Trust the science, the facts, blah, 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 blah. So it's like, shut up. Leading him to ask Heeman and Mitchell, was it empowering to write a rebuttal to the weaponization of Lana and Lily's work? Bro, these people, they really are activists first. Like the most important thing is the message. That's the primary goal of all these people, including the journalist.
Yeah. And that they don't get why we use the term red pill from society from them. They don't get that they're the Matrix.
Oh, they get
Man.
it. I think they're threatened by it.
I feel like they have a like intentional blind side to or blind spot to the idea that they themselves are the creators of the Matrix. Like they don't want to believe it because they still want to believe they're the good guys, that they're the ones liberating people from the oppressiveness of these right wing.
Some don't. Some realize that they are the architects of it, and it's very important to cover that up.
Yeah.
There's
you're
varying
right.
degrees. There's varying degrees of involvement. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
you're right.
There's the blind foot soldiers on the ground. They don't know anything. Then there's the people who like, they kind of get it, but the message is more important. Then there's the people who are straight up making it up, and they're the ones like pulling all the strings.
Yeah, like we know the message is bullshit, but we're pushing the message because of globalism, whatever.
Yeah, because it'll ultimately acquire
evil.
more power and wealth.
Yes. Essentially, dildos calling for more pimp slaps, which I'm not opposed to.
Here. The first answer, Mitchell posited, I suppose the short answer is yes. I don't see myself as a frontline fighter in the culture war, but you also want your work to mean something, to have an ethical edge.
Oof.
One of it's probably not true, by the way. He probably is 100% a frontline fighter.
Probably wakes up and just thinks about culture war.
Yeah.
How do we take it back from these fucking these fascists?
To be fair,
yeah,
we just woke up and now we're having this conversation. So
that is very true. Yeah,
we also think culture war all the time.
Yeah.
One of the many reasons I'm proud of Resurrections is it does have that, says Mitchell. What I'm trying to say is I think the film has integrity, and perhaps that's the source of its integrity. I mean, without me having seen this, it's hard for me to rebut what he's saying. So I just have to be like, okay, whatever you say. Taking his turn to speak, Heeman asserted, I concur. There's a bit of a difference between my and Mr. Mitchell's situation in that. While he's a kinder person, so he doesn't get as angry as much, but largely because I live in the United States. The pit is a kind and warm space. We don't argue or get angry with each other. I guarantee there's no conflict in there. Certainly ideologically, because you have to be to get included. But I am infused with the need to confront some of the things that are taking place in this country. That was the case before and after. Activism. He then clarified, but we do not set out to get into arguments with right-wingers. I think at some point there was a joke about red pill and blue pill, and Lana decided that she did not want to give any credence to that position, even a semblance of dialogue with that, he recalled. There's nothing to talk about with that.
Oh man, I just missed. I had to leave because I was so dehydrated. I needed to get water.
Oh,
what?
I don't know. I'm just reading what he's saying. I'm not entirely. It kind of sounds like they're kind of saying on one hand that there is like they did it for activists, and then on the other hand they didn't. It's kind of hard to suss out. And having not seen the movie, I really can't rebut any of this.
Maybe just artists mumbo jumbo. Like we were thinking of how to do it, but not do it, and whatever, man.
I think at some point, he says it's like having debates with creationists. Shimowitz replied, by inviting them to the podium, it's a tacit endorsement that the idea is up for debate.
You know, here's my thing. Why wouldn't you want to debate a creationist? Like what? Why would you be afraid of someone who thinks? Because isn't that like dinosaurs and like humans existed around the same time or something like that?
Well, I mean, I don't think that's I think a creationist just believes that the universe was created, and
but like they
didn't naturally occur.
Oh, but I mean, I don't know. I don't really know.
You know
I've
what I
heard
mean?
the term
Like,
creation,
yeah.
but yeah, I've heard the term creationist being applied to anyone who believes in like a biblical or whatever type of thing. The idea that, you know, there's a creator, but I've also just heard it in terms of like totally denying the science behind humanity. So just like Noah's Ark only is creationism, says Pat Ass.
I mean, okay. But I think their issue is that, like, why they would say that is because you're not supposed to platform these ideas. You know, you're supposed to. It's like you come in with an assumption we're already on the same page about this.
But even going back to what I was trying to say, even if I had, you know, their definition wrong, why if you're right, why don't you want to? If you think you're so right, then a debate should clearly show that.
Should be a slam dunk, quite frankly.
Yeah.
It should be easy.
Yeah, the idea is the Earth is 6,000 years, like the Earth, yeah, stuff like that. So some of that stuff, yeah, caveman and crewwoman, I saw that, but it was something that like, okay, when I saw the Creationist Museum, it was a fucking caveman riding a dinosaur. So that's what always got associated with creationism.
That's so
to
funny.
Me. So it's like, okay,
I love that mental stretch. That's really funny. It's like, oh, we're just gonna avoid all science, okay, to make our book make sense.
Yeah, we're just not
really
even gonna...
like. That's so douchey. It's just like.
So you're just gonna start making stuff up.
Yeah, like just so you know, all that is bad press for your belief structure.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Debate these people. I would love to debate. Like they say the same thing about like flat earthers and shit. Like, yo, expose it. You know, the exposure. The reason, like, you not platforming these things, Streisand affects these things and keeps them going. If you
that's what they can't, yeah, that's what they don't understand.
Like, if you think every right wing talking point is so stupid, please indeed debate it and then let light show it. I mean, granted, if you're not a great debater, if you're not a master debater, going against a master debater you may look foolish, but in general, those ideas and those principles will be shown, the right ones, so to speak, not the alt-right, but the correct ones will be shown to be, because everyone gets to see it. If you debate a fucking flat earther, once they start babbling, then you say, okay, you won. You want to debate the flat earther so you can look smart. You know what I mean? Wouldn't you want to look smart if you thought your ideas were so much better? That's my thing. You would want to debate them if you thought your ideas were better. You wouldn't, we shouldn't platform because they're so stupid we don't even have to. No, you would say, no, let's platform them. So
the thing about it is that, I mean, I don't know where this guy in particular is coming from, like saying this about the creationists, but the truth of the matter is that a lot of their stuff is bullshit, and they can't risk the exposure to having it, you know, contradicted or good points being made against it. So that's why silence is the modus operandi. It's like, we don't acknowledge these people because they could make a good point or convince people of other ways of thinking.
Exactly. Ascension dildo sort of cut out a man's tongue. But I mean, I just wanted to expose the fallacy in the logic of, we don't want a platform.
Why do you think Jordan Peterson exploded the way he did? It was because finally someone was saying it. Someone was critiquing it. We were living in this intellectual dark age where you weren't But it was where like all you got was one side of the discussion. That was all you ever heard everywhere, and we're all walking around like feeling like we're these individuals who are cut off. You know what I mean, from the rest of society. And then you have this guy come along and perfectly sum it up, and from an educated point of view, accurately describe exactly what it is we're seeing, completely level their arguments and their point of view, and all of a sudden you feel like, oh my god, like you just this enlightenment just hit you. It was this beautiful moment. So it's but it was exactly because any other conversation was so severely suppressed that when you finally heard the truth, it was like like a cleansing rain,
Yeah, the intellectual dark ages of 2014.
But it was, it was.
I mean, yeah, and since you did overturn the monkey. That's weird to think. I guess I was so down the conspiracy. When Jordan Peterson and a lot of these guys came out, like I didn't even recognize how bad like the socialist problem is. I can go back and now look like, oh yeah, there was some wokeness and this or that, but I didn't really like peep it. I didn't understand it when their like phenomenons were happening like that, because I just wasn't until The Last Jedi. To be honest, I didn't really notice it. I didn't really like understand it. I noticed it, but it wasn't like the thing I was focusing on. Like some of it, I had seen shit about the feminist thing. I had been seeing since I was a kid. We were fucking raised in this shit. We were a generation raised in this feminist bullshit. So I've been seeing that since a kid. But like all the other stuff, I didn't take this this other shit seriously. I'm like, oh, that's some Tumblr shit, or that's some whatever. Just it wasn't like I didn't think this could ever get this real. I never thought you would be teaching gender identities in school. I never thought you would have fucking, rainbow dildo monkey reading to kids. I never thought you would get. I could have never conceived of this.
I agree, and well, not that I agree, but I that's why I respect that these concerns are very real, and they have real world implications, and that's why Josh earlier said Twitter isn't the real world.
Yeah, that was my thought.
But that's not correct. Like,
yeah, that's the thing. I thought this too, Josh. This is actually my point. Twitter's not the real world. Tumblr's not the real world. What is this shit? Whatever. Who are these people? What? These are just this. No offense. This is white people shit. Let them debate it. This has nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me.
Yeah, that's not a very enlightening.
It didn't work out. I felt that was.
Because they've weaponized the entire black community.
Yeah, I didn't see that what was going on.
Oopsie.
I didn't peep. I feel, you know what? We'll get into it. You know what I feel like? I feel like Spider-Man letting the fucking guy go by. Like, this doesn't have shit to do with me. And Uncle Ben ends up dead. Literally, Uncle Ben ends up dead because he's not on rice anymore.
That's exactly right, dude. That's a perfect metaphor, and that's why it's like I think it is because people like they do that all the time. They dismiss it by saying, "Oh, it's not the real world. It only lives on the internet." No, it starts on the internet, and then it becomes the real world. What do you think? Like, critical race theory being taught in schools is? What do you think Build Back Better is? What do you think all this stuff is? Now it's legislation. That's why it's dominating our entertainment. It's dominating our media. It's dominating the social spheres. It's propaganda to change the world into their image. This is not paranoia. I'm not making it up. It's happening.
Yeah, yeah.
And seriously, that's why you ask Elvis and Sencha Dildo. They both are from Croatia. That's why they're like Teflon to this shit, because they grew up in a culture where that was the norm. And so they see it now happening in America. You hear them talk about it. Like whenever I see the chat talk about it, it's like they've see this coming because they've already been through it.
Yeah, yeah. That's why, I mean, that's why we Sencha Dildo is who he is, and that's why we love it. But yeah, man, I didn't see it, or I saw it, but I took it fucking lightly. That's probably the better, more accurate thing. I took it completely lightly, because it was so illogical. But you know what? When Caitlyn Jenner got tossed around and they made her Woman of the Year, that's when I should have woke up then. I should have been, wait a second. This is deeper than this is something. It's something else. But I didn't. Just like that.
Yeah, I think as much as I think South Park's kind of overrated at this point, they did handle that well with the PC principal, who was like, "You will admit she's the most beautiful person in the world. You will admit it." It's like everyone had to just applause and go along with it. Then she came out as a Trump supporter. They're all like, I don't know. Like, they don't know what to do with that. It's pretty funny. Yeah. She's a conservative. It's like, what is the world? Back to the article. Back to the article. And I think this is all you actually really need to know about the people who wrote this movie. In my conclusion to their discussion of the film's politics, Heeman adamantly told Shimkowitz, Heeman's the writer, Shimkowitz is the interviewer, my personal position is I don't discuss things with Nazis and fascists.
Well, as a Nazi fascist alt-writer, I don't know if we should discuss it and platform this idiot anymore. We've talked about him quite enough, and I don't even know what else to say to this guy.
But it's like, the thing about that is, it's like, even if real Nazis existed, you know what I mean? Like, even if their boogeyman was a real thing, which the way a Nazi becomes
they
someone...
think he's real, man. They think...
I mean, yeah, but to them, a Nazi is someone who says there's actually a difference between men and women. That,
but like...
Like, that's a Nazi to them.
Yeah, but no, they think the actual, like, they think there are millions of motherfuckers with, like, swastikas in their fucking closet right now.
I don't think they really think that.
No, I'm telling you, they think that. Some of them do. I'm not saying all of them.
How do you get that? Where do you get
You know
that
where I'm actually getting it from? I had a conversation. There was a guy, and I think he actually messaged me back. He's a cool dude. I had a conversation with a leftist. A couple weeks ago, and I just let him talk. I didn't like combat every point. It was a cool conversation, but like he kept going on with this like white supremacy, like white supremacy Nazi thing. Like he was really on it. Like this is a real problem, and like he was talking about the 14 words and all this other shit. I'm like, I don't even know
what the hell is that.
Some white supremacy thing that I had never heard of. And I'm like, he said, oh, Tucker Carlson said, I'm like, he might, I don't even, what's Tucker Carlson? What do you think right wingers are? Like, what is your, but he's not, he didn't seem like a dumb guy, but he really is bought into this idea that there's a huge Nazi problem, huge actual card carrying white supremacist problem. Like, this is a real thing. Meryl Wells, the fucking bot, she understands. Meryl. He would listen, man. This guy really buys it. He really buys in.
Okay, I found out what the 14 words is. I guess that's something that like actual white supremacists believe, and it's just a slogan. And it says we must secure the existence of our people for a future for white children. Which that's white supremacists, but I would argue that the SJWs have that belief kind of like intrinsic to them.
Ooh.
But the other way around.
Yeah, they secure the future for their intellectual children in many ways.
Or to just not have white people.
Just like, eliminate.
You know what I mean? Like it's like there's some form of that they believe.
I didn't even think of it like that. But
it's like, that sounds like okay. That sounds like it's a racially motivated worldview. But you have a very racially motivated worldview, SJWs.
Yeah, you almost have the opposite view. Like no more white children.
Yeah,
hell, some of them have said that.
They do. Like they like. There's been articles like in Europe where it's like, the best way to combat global warming is to stop having kids. Like, and it's like, this is not.
Sheesh.
It's not. It's like that's why I think they're so afraid of this shit because they're using pages out of that rule book. That's what I think. But anyway, the bigger point was this guy's saying he doesn't discuss things with Nazis and fascists. It's like, well, if you are preaching the truthful gospel and the beautiful way to think, you are potentially cutting out members of your flock because there's that black guy that Rogan had on his show that would do exactly that. This black dude would have frank conversations with KKK guys and like legitimate white supremacists.
And then Jesse Lee Peterson?
I think that's his name. And he would basically talk them out of it. And he's got a closet full of Klan robes of men who are like no longer in it anymore because they talked with this guy. Yeah, it's a really beautiful story and it's badass. And this guy.
Oh, Daryl Davis. Okay.
Oh, Daryl Davis. Yeah, that's it. This guy's fucking brave, really brave.
Yeah, but I ain't doing that.
But it's like he is converting people. Like he's like, basically anti-indoctrinating people to like a truly racist worldview. So if you're opposed to that, then you are all like you're cutting off potentially more enlightened people. So it's like, shut the fuck up. You want to live in your echo chamber, and that's your comfort zone. And anything outside of that, Nazis, fascists.
Yeah, I never heard of Daryl Davis because I hadn't heard of that. He converted 300 KKK members. Wow,
Holy shit! Listen to this next. Yeah. It's really pretty badass.
incredible.
It's really pretty cool.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Ballsy, man.
Wrote a book on it and stuff. I think he wrote several books. It's really fascinating, dude.
Yeah.
But it says, listen to this next line. Listen to this and the audacity that they have, like that they go after white supremacists at all when they say things like this. There's nothing to talk about it. One of us is just going to be left standing, and I want it to be me and my people.
Whoa.
Indeed.
Whoa. To quote Keanu on the screen, that sounds like some. That you know what? To the point you just made, that sounds like it. Like it sounds like some shit like me and my people shall reign.
Yeah, doesn't it?
We will
like
eradicate all the others. Like what?
Straight up, dude. If that came from like some white supremacist dude, you'd be like, "Oh, that's kind of intense."
Yeah.
But these are the good guys.
Shit. Well, apparently not. I guess this Daryl Davis. He said he couldn't get through to the SJWs. Is that what Brian Day is saying?
Yeah, no, you can't. I mean,
sheesh.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. But SJWs they're in it deep. I find the best way is I don't recommend you do it because they're dangerous people and they weaponize opinion and point of view, and they will turn on you and they will use it against you, and they will go use the power structure to, inflict damage on you. But I find it's if you explore their ideas in an intellectual way where you try to listen to what they say and say it all out loud. Like once the hypocrisies become more like obvious and their ideas kind of collapse upon themselves, you can see them going through the process of trying to, but like if you just keep asking them questions about what they believe and where the world's coming from and these kinds of things, and make like the occasional assertion just about like logic, like you could watch it crumble, but it's very difficult thing to do. It's a very dangerous thing to do. I don't recommend doing it because.
So wait, are we establishing like legitimately it is safer and easier for a black man to convert a Klansman than it is to convert an SJW? Because that's what we just have established, like scientifically,
and
with evidence.
We're using the guy who does it. It was actually more detrimental that he had more of an attack from the good guys, from the social justice than the KKK.
We're supposed to be helping you dumb motherfuckers, not you helping yourselves. What the fuck?
That's pretty intense right there.
Yeah, man.
Huh. That is intense. Let's see if there's any more to this article.
Yeah,
no, that's pretty much it.
Some Spiderman because we got about half hour left.
Yeah, well, that article aside, I did want to just kind of see the general consensus
of the movie. Yeah, the reviews because it's out and not a review reviews.
Yeah, so
yeah. If there's any audience consensus, obviously, I mean, the critics are going to say yes, Queen Slay.
It's not. The audience score is not up on Rotten Tomatoes, even though there's 250 ratings.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even showing it.
Well, that doesn't seem promising.
Doesn't that make sense though? Because it's like they do this all the time. It's like because the audience score now, people go to the audience score more than they go to the critic score, and the thermometer on this movie is not even. It's 68%.
Oh, geez,
which is pretty low.
Yeah, especially if after that article we read to only get 68% is not good.
It's got a 6.6 on IMDb. Dude, what's weird is IGN, which is very much a shill site, they gave it a 4 out of 10.
Oof. Mm-hmm. When the shills can't even fuck with it, you know it's a disaster.
Yeah. Are you going to watch it?
Maybe because it's on streaming. Maybe. Oh, you know what? We could. There is a trailer to a movie that we checked out. That's pretty dope.
What
it's a movie called Clean.
Okay.
We can talk about that later. I don't know if we'll have enough time. I did want to talk Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to save that.
Yeah.
But this is the Metacritic. It's 65 from critics, 4.4 average user score, 61 reviews.
Oof. This does not sound good. Lots
The
of yellow and red.
Netflix grade, expensive 2-hour and 20-minute long feminism advertisement video. Based.
I don't know if I can do it then.
Oh, that's awesome. This movie is absolutely horrendous. He gave it 0. Fell asleep during my first watching of the film. The movie drags on and on without a single ounce of plot to capture my interest. The only reason to watch this film is to see how low the franchise has gotten. God, I wanted to like this movie so badly, but it's just awful. Opening 20 minutes might as well be a fan film. Seriously, what did you really expect? Much closer to the second film. CGI and effects quality were low.
Oof.
Boring. Fell asleep. Woke up. Started the movie again. Then fell asleep again. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Disappointment. There are things I don't understand. The worst I've watched in a decade, maybe longer. It's not even funny bad. It's just bad. It's so bad, I'm going to cancel my HBO Max subscription.
Yes.
Beast.
Lose money on this. Yes.
Oh, that's funny. Disappointing action and plot. Waste of money and time. Not recommended.
It's a green
Oh,
one.
wow. These guys are crushing it. This movie had a lot to live up to for the most part. It kind of failed to do so. However, that doesn't mean it is a bad movie. It's an amazing hell no, but is it good? Absolutely.
Was this the green one?
Yeah, it was a fun watch. And Keanu was great. I just hope this was a one-off film because I just don't think you can go whatever. I don't care what these guys say. This looks.
Shout out to the Asian bot.
Yep.
So.
The viewing is so fresh. Oh, okay.
So those are bot reviews, clearly.
Incredible in very unexpected ways. Looking forward to watching it again. There is a lot going on that isn't just surface deep. Yeah, these are people that work for Warner Brothers.
Yeah. Or they're bot, like, these are people they found on Fiverr to do reviews for them.
Surprisingly cohesive. The movie opens doors to a new future and to a hopeful yet grim dark future of the Matrix for both the humans and the machines. It makes you want to know and see more. That is
okay.
Listen. Casual plebs won't get it. Much like Reloaded and Revolutions. For the rest of us hardcore fans, we get to enjoy a movie that explains what happened while calling back to the old trilogy and setting up a dazzling future. Who wrote this? Dazzling? As long as the plebs don't ruin the chances of future Matrix movies. Bro, these movies cost hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yes.
If you want them to make them, you need the plebs, you fool.
Jesus Christ. Oh, man.
You won't
the
get
hardcore.
Okay, so it's for an elite minority who will like this. Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that being your marketing strategy. I'm sure they'll invest another $250 million.
Just for you.
Fucking idiot. That was great.
Hardcore Matrix fans. I guess they have to exist, right? They must be a group of people for which whom the Matrix is still the shit.
I knew a dude in high school who liked all the movies, who liked 2 and 3.
I gave 2 a pass because even though the action does not hold up whatsoever visually, but it was like of the time. So I'm like, yeah, still liked it.
I didn't. I mean, I wasn't angry at it.
Yeah.
But I remember, like, a Matrix sequel didn't make any sense to me anyway. Like, it was like the story's kind of over. So I was like, all right, I'll check this out. And it was bad. And I didn't even watch the third one. Like, I didn't even check that out until I was at a friend's house. And he's like, no, dude, it was really good.
Oof.
I mean, there was one cool scene when they have those mechs and they're shooting up at the... that's about
that
it.
one spot. And he's like, ah.
I
But, like,
remember
I
the
hated
rest of
that
it.
movie. I hated that movie.
I don't even remember it enough to hate it. I just remember being like, oh, yeah, those movies suck.
Because I saw that in theaters, and I remember just seeing it in theaters and being so angry. That was one of the worst experiences in a theater I'd ever had.
That's
Still
funny.
to this day, it is.
That's pretty funny. Well, you know what? Apparently, it's not a bad movie. It's
What?
Spider-Man.
Yeah, the
Because
people
apparently,
love
I
it.
read this on Twitter. Odin said it's like beating Endgame as far as box office like accumulation and speed.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be one of the biggest movies. It was the third biggest opening ever. And all this positive press. I mean, it looks like it's doing well in this post Omicron world.
Is it
Lots of people have
Omicron? Is it? Isn't it?
Omicron. You
Isn't it?
might be right. I think you're right.
Yeah,
Omicron,
just
Omicron, whatever.
everyone's.
Tomato,
It seems
tomato.
like everyone pronounces it wrong. I'm like, I never. Why is this? Why don't people know how to pronounce this word?
Yeah,
Omicron.
Eh, Omicron.
Omicron. Omicron.
Yes, it's third. It's had the third biggest opening weekend. So I'm not sure if it is beating it yet, but it is like
Not that it's beating it, but the speed at which it accumulated this much money is faster than the pace of Endgame.
I
That's
see.
what I read from Odin on Twitter, I think.
I see. Okay. Well, that's interesting, man. A lot of people I've heard nothing but praise. I haven't had the most interest in the movie.
Neither do I, to be honest.
I had almost none because, like, the only draw I really do not like the Tom Holland Spider-Man. I just don't have an interest in seeing it. And as Essential Dildo even said, not caring much about superhero stuff, I'm getting just completely over it. As a guy who's a diehard, who was happy to see this world on the grind. Hey, thank you, appreciate
like-
showing up.
Yeah.
How
it's
do we
like,
pronounce your name?
It's like a candy man. You say him 3 times and it appears.
There you go. There you go. Please let us know how to pronounce your name. But I haven't liked the Tom Holland verse. I'm over superheroes in general. I mean, I'm gonna check out the Batman out of like just blind loyalty, but I don't really have an interest in it.
Oh, right. Batman. Yeah.
Yeah, but I know my whole gimmick is I'm a vigilante or whatever, but just the superhero genre is just like, God, I'm over it. It's just I don't really care anymore, and I don't really care to see the Spider-Man. Outside of seeing Tobey Maguire, I heard it's more than a cameo, and he does have a sizable role in the movie. So that's if I do check it out. I'll check it out when it's on FX. I'll check it out on a lazy Saturday one day, and then pop it on streaming or whatever.
Yeah, if
and
it
say,
was
"Oh, yeah, that
streaming,
was
I would
cool."
watch it. Like if it was
Yeah.
on HBO, if I didn't have to go to the theater, I would definitely watch it.
Yeah, it's not. I don't feel that compelled to go to the theater and see this movie. I'll check it out later.
Do you think this is a good thing, though?
I don't know that it is, man. At first I didn't really have any opinion on it either way, but then fucking Ripper converted me again. He posted the fact like you did just subsidize a bunch of more woke shit. You do know that, right? I'm like, ugh.
Maybe.
Yeah, you did.
Subsidized.
Maybe it was
yeah.
going to get made anyway. There's something to be said about that because they are just going to do it anyway. There's ESG funding.
Or they just
but-
might actually make good movies.
Well, I don't know.
I doubt
I
it,
mean,
dude. Don't get me
A lot
wrong,
of people are hopeful on the Sony version of the MCU or their section of the MCU because they're a lot of people like Venom, which I didn't see the second one. And the first one was just a movie.
I'm not interested in Venom without Spider-Man.
Yeah, but
And I'm
they're
definitely
supposed
not
to do a
interested in Venom
crossover.
being a good guy.
Yeah,
I like him as a villain. I like him as a nefarious, outer space monster fighting Spider-Man. That's all I want to see with Venom.
it would be nice to see them fight each other. But they've already fucked up Venom's origin. To me, Venom's origin does. I like the classic version of the origin when the symbiote fuses with Spider-Man first, and that's organic webbing wasn't a part of Spider-Man. That's why he had web shooters, but the thing gave him organic webbing, gave him even more strength, and then he loses that, and then it gets on Eddie Brock, and then he becomes Venom, and then he now they have their rivalry.
What was the
Sort
reason?
of
Why was Eddie Brock jealous of Peter Parker?
I think they both worked at the Bugle.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, and I think a part of it was just like he also hated Spider-Man too. And then when he found out they were the same person after he got Venom, he was just like really pissed. But I forgot somebody in the chat who knows more can tell us more because I offhand right now at this moment I cannot think of the reason he hated each. I know he hated Spider-Man for a specific reason, and he hated Peter Parker for a specific reason. And Peter Parker was always known to take pictures of Spider-Man, so he didn't like him. And then once the symbiote fuses with him, he realizes, he was a photographer too. Hell, Eric K. With the knowledge.
Eric K. What up, dog?
Dropping mad knowledge. I know he was a photographer too. Maybe he felt like Parker was upstaging him, and then He was sick of Gwen left Eddie for. I didn't know Gwen Stacy dated Eddie Brock.
Well,
Yeah.
they tried to do that in Spider-Man 3, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't
they
Eddie
did.
trying to
Yeah.
seduce what's her face, Mary Jane?
Um,
MJ?
MJ. I think I forgot 3. That was a fever dream too.
I
Um,
never even seen it.
I forgot it. I do remember Sandman and like a terror. I just remember it being that. I remember Bully McGuire. Everyone remembers
I,
Bully McGuire.
I remember the pitch meting when
Mhm.
he's just like, oh, and he falls into a science hole and turns into sand, and those things are everywhere.
Yeah,
Science
hole. Oh man, fucking. But I remember the memes more than because those scenes where the memes are like taken from are the most memorable scenes of that movie. Is weird looking Toby.
I mean, the pitch meeting on that one is great because it's like they have more like so many music. He's like, you know what I felt was left out of the first 2 movies was musical scenes, bad
Yes.
musical scenes. He's like intentionally bad musical scenes. Like, yeah, they're even going to remark on how bad they are in the film. You're like, what? What is this? What do you do? What are these choices?
That third one is really off. Oh yeah, super chats.
Eric K for $2 says, lurk here often to listen to you fine gents.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, the mighty Eric K. Appreciate it, my dude.
Hail Eric K.
Hail Eric K. Yeah. Yeah, I think Eric July's Young Ripa's take is probably accurate, but it's a cynical point of view, but it's probably the most grounded and realistic point of view. Because I mean,
Yeah.
I find myself even being just like I said, like exhausted and just wanting good content. Like the idea that The Expanse is shaping up to be a good season is blowing my mind. Like I'm actually turning on something and I'm just enjoying it for what it is. I'm not like taking forceps and being like, okay, if I can remove this woke angle, then I can enjoy it, or like, oh, there it is again. Like I'm not seeing that at all. And The Witcher, while I think it's starting to peek its head in, it's doing certain things kind of well. Like you have Ciri is now at the Witcher facility and she's training to be a Witcher, which is that's the lore. And it's funny because it tracked to me. Like they have her, she's super hungry to be a Witcher, and these guys are like, all right, you want to be a Witcher? And they take her out to like this like training thing where you have to like duck and bob and weave all these, and she keeps getting her ass kicked like hard. She keeps getting her ass busted by this thing, which I was like, that's pretty funny. Like, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And then by the end, like after her just getting up and trying again and getting up and trying again, the guys are like straight up rooting for her. They're like, do this, don't do, like they like get on her side. And like, I'm like, that's exactly how I would want that to play out. And that's what makes sense to me. Like that's what I think. Like we were going back to what we were saying before. It's like it's really just the respect. It's like if you want to come play football with the guys, fine. But like this is a violent game and it's going to be what it is. But if you're willing to play, hey, come play. But don't ask for special treatment. So it's like that. I think that's what they're doing. Like they're kind of like she's showing that she's got inner strength and versatility and vitality and keeps going after it. And then is becoming like a better Witcher. I'm like, that's exactly what we want. That's what we want in our storytelling. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah. I'm interested in The Witcher because the fucking animated movie they did was really good. And I'm familiar, I'm like vaguely familiar with the Witcher lore without having played the game or read the books, but I still have some familiarity with it. And I didn't see season 1, but I was hesitant to see season 1 because fucking you just want to talk about alt-right dog whistles. Fucking Henry Cavill all but saying, yeah, this is kind of woke. Kind of scared me off. I'm like, oh man, if I know I'm just leading into a woke season to come, I don't know if I even want to invest into the first season. But everyone seems to be pretty positive on The Witcher. So yeah, I may end up checking it out.
Well, Elvis does not agree with me about The Expanse or The Witcher.
Oh man.
Wow. We're usually on the same page too. He says The Expanse went on full went full on brainless action. I can't believe they were jumping on the Azure Dragon instead of shooting it with the EMP. Uh-oh. Am I a fucking rube? Am I a mark? Did they get me, Elvis? I hope
Maybe they
not.
did.
I hope.
Maybe
I
they
find
did.
myself enjoying. I don't know. If it is bad in that regard, it's not bad in the way that I am concerned it being bad.
Ooh, now we have a different conversation. Because we started off with the Spider-Man thing, but it's like if something is bad, but it's not woke, is it better? You know what I mean? Is that good?
But it like him pointing that out could be true, and I could be missing it, but it didn't affect my enjoyment. So while I can acknowledge the point, or maybe I could even eventually come to the conclusion, oh, that is bad, but it's like I'm fine with that because I enjoyed it and it wasn't political, like posturing or anything that no messaging. It's just a show. And so that's more of a taste thing, which that's kind of all I want out of content.
Yeah. But I mean, kind of all these things, if there's a through line, it's almost like Eddie Murphy talking about crackers. He was talking about sex, and he said if you haven't had any in a long time, when you have it, it's like the best nut ever. And it's just like if you haven't, you was on a desert island and you were starving and someone gave you a pack of crackers, you would think that's the best tasting pack of crackers of all time. You know what I mean? Because you're starved for it, basically. So we're so starved for basic entertainment that if you can just stand up straight and look somewhat like a solid show, I mean, maybe some of that happened with because I've heard just effusive
I
praise
hope
for
not,
Spider-Man.
because I'm pretty brutal with my critiques. I don't really let off the gas. You know what I mean? Like me and you, we're taking on the whole damn world with this arcade thing.
Yeah.
Me, you, then 70s rock fan. Everyone else is like, oh, you're crazy. It's not there. So I don't know what you guys are talking about. This chick's fucking born a superhero. And oh, she trained boxing. Okay, physics are still a thing.
Yeah.
But Just Josh says, I really just can't get over Marcos's man bun. I kind of want to make a YouTube channel called Marcos Man Bun. But what you're overlooking is he's the villain, Josh. They're making it bad, right? The bad guy has the man bun. That's what you see. You got to see. You got to read between the lines, Josh. Read between the lines. Eric K says, for $5. Thank you, Eric K. Much appreciated. The best damn crackers I ever had. Then you find out, oh, man, I just got some plain old crackers. Oh, I hope that's not the case.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Yeah, boy!
Much appreciated, my friend.
Yeah, you guys are more than just plain old crackers to me. I appreciate you guys.
Ascension Dildo says, nobody cares about your arcane takes, Matt. We just want to fuck with you. Oh, really?
No.
Really?
Trust
Nobody
me.
cares?
People care. You guys are just fucking with us, yeah, but no, this arcade thing, it blew up, man.
That short that I put out, Arcane is Woke and Intersectional, has 2,212 views, 62 comments. It's got 47 upvotes and 121 downvotes. It isn't.
Yeah.
It's people they do not like this take.
No, they're upset about it.
Yes.
They are upset.
Trust
me.
Comments are just flooded with people. It's like, all right.
How's it feel to hate women? All this shit.
Yeah. Oh, tell me you're a misogynist without telling me you're a misogynist. All kinds of shit.
Elvis Abramovic, this is why we love you. Thank you for that sentence. Arcane is woke as fuck, but actually great. Why is that take?
All I wanted.
That's
it. Only acknowledgement I cared for. That was it.
We love you, Elvis.
Thank you, Elvis.
Elvis is not dead. He's not in Cuba smoking with Pac and Biggie. He's alive and well, and he's making good points.
You know what I noticed about The Witcher Season 2, which I was like, huh. So, did you happen to see Critical Drinker's review of it?
I did not.
Because his was that it's like inconsistent but good. I think that was his take. And he said... But one thing he pointed out was that because Ciri's really blonde, she's like platinum blonde, and she's like, I think she's natural blonde, because like he said, and she also has that eyebrow thing with blonde people where it doesn't look like they have eyebrows, and then he did like a close up and did that scream from What is that movie? Oh shit! It's with the guy from Jurassic Park, and it's the Hell Gate opens in space. God damn it!
Oh shit! I know what it is, and I can't think of it now. Even I didn't even see the movie.
My
but I
brain
remember
just
seeing
won't
reviews.
connect the dot. Damn it! Let me think of it. I
And
want to
since
say
you did
like
us as
Eternius
Tupac,
something. The hell is that?
Event Horizon.
Event Horizon.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, the scream from Event Horizon, where she has like these super blonde eyebrows, and it doesn't look like she has eyebrows, dude. In season 2, they dyed her eyebrows. She has dark eyebrows now.
Huh.
And I was like, is that because of Critical Drinker?
Well, he does have a fucking million subs now. He is
A million
he's
subs, and those videos get millions of views.
Yeah.
There's no reason to. I mean, there's no reason to think that people are not, like the people who are involved in it are not going like through all these videos and hearing like fan reactions and stuff like that. I mean, it's all marketing.
They'd be stupid not to.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's all
if you have a
market
marketing
research.
job, you have
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah, it would make sense, right? And so that might, I don't know, or maybe the actress was self-conscious about it or something, but they definitely made that choice.
Huh.
And the only person I heard point that out was Critical Drinker. I mean, I live in this sphere. What is with all the fucking bots today?
The comrades are out for you.
What's going on? But yeah, and I was like, is that, did he?
He might have.
I hope so.
That'd be great. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
We're making an impact.
Yeah,
I'm not
we.
doing anything. We. All this we
Critical
shit.
Drinker has a ebb and flow daily of my total amount of subscribers.
Yes.
But we are
Yeah.
on the same page. We are impacting society. Yeah, no, I just thought that was an interesting thing. I was like, they changed that.
Yeah. That's
Oh.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anything else, sir?
We really didn't talk too much about Spider-Man.
I talked a little bit about it. I mean,
little
it's
bit.
making a lot of money. Neither one of us really cares to see it. And
Yeah.
we speculated it might bring in more woke content, and it very well may.
Yeah, because I mean, I know Tom Holland said we need a more diverse Spider-Man. Like, okay,
Oh, he
so-
has to say that.
And it's funny. I actually
Who
shout
cares
out
what
to
actors say?
yeah. Who cares
Hey,
what
unless
actors
they're on
think,
YouTube channels like this one.
Yeah,
Don't go anywhere. Yeah.
Well, no, it's funny. I actually, ironically, I was talking to the maker of my my logo, Mando Merc, because we were talking about Spider-Man just on Discord or whatever, and I was looking. He had said the Spider-Man at home meme, but he actually had a joke where Spider-Man at home, and I'm like, I thought you were going to send this, talking about Miles Morales and Spider-Gwen, and like they're coming. They're going to be, the fucking Clean trailer. If you want, maybe check that out on MFR.
Mr. Clean?
No, it's a movie called Clean with Adrian Brody that looks pretty good. It's coming out next year. If you want to check that out, we can get that in.
I mean, yeah. Can you watch it? Do you have time?
yeah. I got time
Wait,
to watch
Clean
it.
2020?
2022 it should be.
I said it
should have
says
Adrian-
2020.
Really?
I mean, it does say
It's-
Adrian Brody.
Okay. Well, it has Adrian Brody, and I thought it was coming out in 2022,
I'm just reading IMDb.
but you might be right. But
I see.
yeah. As far as Miles Morales is going to be in the live action Spider-Man movie. I'm surprised they didn't put him in No Way Home in the cameo, and so is Spider-Gwen, and they're going to make it woke Spider-Man movies. That's gonna happen. I just wanted to point that out, and the fact that Tom Holland said it. The reason I even said that is because that may be, a lot of these actors are in on it. I mean, all of them are in a lot of cases. So that
You
may
have
be
to be
them
to be a part of it.
prefacing you though, like, hey, we need a more diverse Spider-Man, and all of a sudden you hear about Miles Morales is casted in Spider-Man 4. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see.
Is he done with Spider-Man, Tom Holland?
I don't think so. They might have both of them or something because they want to introduce him in. But no, I think he might even sign a contract to do more. You guys are probably smarter than me. But no, I don't think he's done.
All right, well, let's watch this trailer.
There used to be families in every house on this street. You could hear the kids laughing all the time.
What's going on? It's cold.
Grandma's out. I left my key inside.
You hungry?
You know, we don't need anyone to save us.
Just trying to save myself. I'm still looking for answers. I just don't know the questions anymore. I've got blood on my hands. No matter how hard I try, I can't wash away the past.
Sorry about the smell.
I'm used to it.
For your trouble.
I'm good.
Most guys I sponsor, they got a hard time doing work. But you got a different sort.
That's Baby-O from Con Air.
Oh shit, it is. I didn't even think about that.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna show you God does exist.
Of malady. Yeah, it ain't the work, it's the letting go.
Your grandma's gonna worry.
You ain't my father.
You find a way to make peace with it, or it makes war with you.
What's up? We close.
I'm gonna have to open you up.
What?
What's he got there?
Ooh, it's a wrench.
Is that a tire iron or something? Yeah, it's a wrench.
God has a plan.
We can never go home.
Kill the girl and the old lady. Make it messy.
I'm gonna make it right.
Home protection.
Hunting.
I was a trash man. Wasn't always a trash man.
Sent me to kill the Grim Reaper.
You said find a way to.
All right, I don't need to see any more. I hate when they show the entire fucking movie.
Yeah, that's the one thing with this trailer. They showed a fucking
Right, got it.
Like you could have ended at a minute and I'd have been in.
Yeah, you're supposed to entice me about the movie, not tell me exactly what's going to happen beat for beat.
Yeah, it literally does. And that's that one beef with that trailer. But it just looks like it's a classic fucking action movie.
That does look badass.
Yes. Yeah.
That piqued my
happened to
interest for
see it.
sure.
Yeah, same here. I played it on a stream. A plug for my channel because you should sub to my channel. Played on the stream a few days ago. And I just because I wanted it was another movie everyone gave me shit for, but people like that trailer. I'm very interested in that trailer. Comes out next month actually.
That looks good. That looks good.
Yeah, looks good. Looks good.
Well, one last thing. This show has to end, unfortunately. Yeah. But fear not. Fear not. For there is another hour, 2 hours even, of content on the Culture Crime Fighters Patreon, Secret Identities. This week we talk about drugs and our do we put that? I think, is it in the link? Is it in the channel, in the description? I hope so. If I didn't, I'm an idiot. The Patreon.
Yeah.
I hope it's in the description. And this week we talk about our history with drugs. Drugs, yes, much more risque. Not really risque, just more personal. And about your favorite culture crime fighters, their secret identities. We talk about that a little bit. So make sure you check out the Patreon, Culture Crime Fighters Secret Identities. Go there. We're having a lot of fun. I think it's great. A little bit more content. It's already out. This week's episode dropped.
Yes.
So go peep it there, audio and video. So if you're using the Patreon app, you can just listen to the audio on your phone. So recommended.
Yeah, please do. And somebody mentioned I do have a second channel that I haven't done anything with, but I am going to do something with as soon as I can.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because I'm still going to concurrently. Please sub to my original channel. I saw Eric K in the chat. Please still sub to Vigilante Williamson. And I'm gonna have another channel called Vigilante Williamson Vengeance. I'm not even sure if it's searchable. It probably isn't. If anyone could toss that link in, that would be super dope. Because I am a paranoid person, but I don't think I'm paranoid with some of the suppression on YouTube. And so I'm like, I need to relieve some of that pressure, so to speak, and see if I can create another channel. See if I'll still have the same issues with growth. So I'm going to concurrently run both of these channels. And go from there, and then eventually, if my theory is correct, so to the link that you have up. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it is on my community tab. You can check my community tab if you want to find the second channel. But if it does indeed grow unimpeded, I might switch to that as the main channel. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm just gonna try to concurrently. I forgot to upload that live stream to that channel because I'm gonna bust my nut. Oh boy, that's not what I said, Simpson Dildo. But yeah, I'm trying to still grow. So I'm just kind of starting over with this channel, but I'm still got the main channel at the same time.
And you have other ambitions too, right? Like you have another channel ideas and stuff like that. So
yeah,
keep an eye on that. For now, sub to the main channel.
Please, yes.
Check out the Patreon. If you can't do that, what you can do, because this is a podcast, you can go on iTunes, give us a 5-star review. Would really appreciate that.
Yes.
Helps boost the algorithm, helps the crime squad grow. So really appreciate that, guys. And they were asking about my Expanse stream. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Expanse.
I will be doing it tomorrow night. I think I have it at 8 or 8:30, but I will definitely be doing it now that I know the timeline when it comes out and all that. So yeah, Expanse stream and then review on Friday. So
all right,
Yas Queen. Yeah, that's gonna do it for the Culture Crime Fighter, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Next week on Vig's channel.
Yeah. Wait. Do we see him next week? Are you going to be back next week?
Oh shit, that's right. The holidays. Oh yeah.
Oh shit. Does that make this the last episode of the year?
Oh shit, I think it does.
Fuck, this is.
Wow.
I'm glad we caught that before we signed off. This is the last episode of the year then.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody.
Hell yeah.
We'll see you if there is a 2022, no guarantees in this world.
Yeah,
but if there is a 2022, we'll see you then.
See you then. See you in
First week,
2022.
it'll be on my channel. So yeah.
Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Exactly. Like the year's over.
Yeah. It's crazy. We will. I mean, Cocktail Lounge still Friday.
Yeah.
There's
still Friday at the Cocktail Lounge.
And New Year's Eve. So you will see us before the year's out.
Okay.
But I think this is the last. This is the last Culture Crime Fighters of the year, though.
Yeah. Yeah. So you are doing a New Year's show.
Yeah. New Year's, Christmas, and New Year's Eve.
Cool, because I was planning on doing that show to get drunk.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I'm not a real person, so I don't have like a social life. So that was my social.
I have to work the next morning, so I can't get that tuned up. Yeah.
Okay.
Early too. Fucking sucks.
Oof.
Is what it is. Is what it is. All right, we'll see you all in the new year. If you want more content, obviously Cocktail Lounge on Fridays. So come check us out there too.
And we will do another episode of Secret Identities, though. So if you are, damn it, next week, I want some Culture Crime Fighters. There will be a new episode, not just the drugs episode. We have another episode that we are going to do for next week. So
I think we're drowning these guys in plugs, quite frankly. But
yeah, we are, and we already have a deal though. So drowning them in plugs is not going to make it any better. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you later. Toots.
All right. Love you guys. Peace.